My guest today is Shelly Cunningham, and Shelly and I met last week. We've been following each other for a little bit, and she asked me if I wanted to come in and check out her place, which was super fun. Shelly has a business called ReStyle. Can you finish it for me? A consignment boutique.
It is a consignment boutique. Yes, we do consignment. We do other things as well. So yeah, ReStyle, um, which to me says it all. We've got we can style you, but these are things that have been worn before, and we're going to give them a new life.
Yeah, that's so, I love it. I love that so much. And so Shelly is putting on participating in
Participating, co-hosting
yeah, a fashion show this weekend. So
a week from Friday, actually, May
right,
31st. Yep.
if this comes out on Tuesday, then it will be
Oh, right.
this weekend.
True. Yes.
But anyway, it'll be Friday, the 31st of May, and this is in Freeport, Maine. If you're outside of Maine, but anyone locally, please come because it's going to be super cool. Shelly was telling me that there are 39 models.
And each with two looks.
Two looks.
So the show is all of the proceeds are going to benefit Freeport Climate Action Now, which is a grassroots organization in Freeport, which many towns, maybe your town has it as well. Many towns have started this, and it's basically to be able to raise awareness and do things to promote sustainability in their areas. So if you're interested in buying tickets, you can go to freeportcan.org and purchase tickets there. All the proceeds will go to benefit them. All of the models are being styled in refashion. So gently used clothes from myself, ReStyle, and then another resale shop in Freeport as well called Cargoes. I never feel any kind of competition between consignment resale shops because the nature of our business means we have completely unique inventories. But Cargoes is very different than us in other ways in that they do vintage, which we don't really have a lot of. And all of their fabrics, they try to do mostly natural fabrics, so cotton, linen, silks, those types of things. And then this show is also being sponsored by Maine Beer Company and the Bake Shop. So a $15 ticket gets you a 2 hour show of a lot of fun fashion, free beer, wine, snacks. I don't know. Yeah, I think it's going to be great. I really do. And I
Mm.
think there's going to be something for everyone because we have all ages. We have a lot of younger folks, high school seniors. We and all in between up to I think we have a couple of women in there who are in their 70s walking as well, and
I love
then
it.
everything in between. So yeah, it's men, women, everybody should come and see what great, that I think the message for me that I want people to come away with this is that they don't have to sacrifice current fashion or quality of their clothes and how it looks to buy used clothing.
Hmm.
Um, that there's the things that people bring in, honestly, you'd be amazed if it's not new with tags, which many items are, just how much life it has left in. You would never know after you snip that tag off that it didn't come straight from the retail store.
Right.
Um, so I don't know. 90% of my wardrobe is used. Um, I don't know why anyone should buy anything other than used clothing. But it's like, well, where do I go? How do I access this?
Right.
Um,
Well, it means
and the
someone's
way
got to buy it new because then you guys get the
we
hand.
wouldn't have a short, right? We wouldn't have a shop. That's true. All
I
right,
think you
fine.
can
That's true.
spend lots of money on new things and then
Yeah.
not wear them.
And so over the last year, we built a website. Because the way that women have dressed themselves and where they're shopping has changed a lot since COVID. And, who knows, eventually the pendulum might swing back. But as far as right now, it's still people shopping online a lot. People are they're watching their wallets. So they are trying to get good value out of what they purchase. And, not as many people are actually going into a workplace. So the formality of what they're dressing in has changed. It's far more relaxed, even if they are going into the office. Sometimes it's only part-time. And so we've tried to change along with all of those changes that have been happening around us. So now you can buy online on our website.
Ooh,
And we're just, we've got I feel like our store has a little bit of something for everyone, you know.
really.
So I don't know if you experienced that yourself, but I feel like, we have everything from the grab the $3 item off the clearance rack to if you want a Johnny Was or high-end Louis Vuitton, item that's ordinarily $1,400 for $500 or, so and everything in between.
Yeah. And I mean, while I was there, people were trying on like fancy dresses. And you guys, if you're only listening and not watching this on YouTube, you should watch on YouTube because Shelly is so dressed up and always like I think that's really fun. So I think that part of the, with COVID and people doing the athleisure, is that what it is? Athleisure wear.
Hmm. It
Um,
is.
and wearing sweats and stuff. There's also like if you are going out, you feel like you need to get dressed up.
Right.
Um, that's not me, but a lot of people do.
Some people. And
Some people do. And I think that's really fun because I felt underdressed when I walked in, but at the same time, you guys are totally cool. You and Afton were just like dressed to the nines and just super
be
fancy,
you.
but also so, so kind and just welcoming. I just thought that was excellent. And
Well, I, I,
and this is
it
like
really,
it's like a full service,
yes,
not like Goodwill.
100%. Because when women come into my shop, I want them to feel better than when they leave than when they came in. So, that's helping them with whatever they need. And maybe they just need chat. They're having a bad day and we're here for that as well. But um style is so individual and so personal. And I know some people might think of it as superficial, but it's not. It's to me, it's like listening to music. Like I'll music can affect your mood, right? I think everyone can agree with that. And depending on how you're feeling, you're sad, you want to listen to some sad songs, or you want to be cheered up and you want to put something on that you can dance to, whatever it is, it's very personal and everybody gets a different feeling from it. And I feel clothes is just an extension of me, of how I feel on the inside, of what I like, not even just to present. It's not about what anybody else thinks of me. It's what makes me happy in how I dress. And I get a lot of people, and I am, a girly girl dresser. I like feminine type things. 9 times out of 10, I'll be in a skirt or a dress, but that doesn't define me. That's just what I like. That's what makes me happy. And
And it makes you feel good.
it makes me feel
That was
good.
another thing that we had talked about that just it sets you apart from a lot of things, I think, a lot of places. You know, I
Hmm.
I I'm gonna out myself here a little bit. During COVID, I ordered some pajama pants from Amazon and they
Yes.
were so ridiculous. So first of all, the fabric was I think I ordered flannel and they were not flannel. They were like
Right. Mm.
polyester something, but the legs were different lengths and the like inseam was all funky. So like I literally could not wear them.
Right.
Uh, Even just to go to bed in. They were just so uncomfortable because they were off-sided. But
Right.
but you with your store, you and Afton, just like you totally were like, oh, this I think this would look really good on you. I remember there was another lady that was getting dressed, and you were like, what about this dress? And then even
Mhm.
for me, you were like, I'm gonna go upstairs, I'll be right back. And then you were like, just in
Mhm,
case you're thinking about a dress. This
mhm,
may not fit on you.
mhm.
But it's not like, how did everything work out? You're like, tell me what you need, and I will tell you what I think you need. Basically, like, no,
Well,
this is fun for me
I
to dress people.
I do feel like sometimes people want to go there but aren't really quite sure how, or might be embarrassed to ask, or and it's never about pushing anything about what I do for me on someone else. I want to find out what they like and what they want.
Right.
And I hear so many times, I hear, "Oh, this is beautiful. I love this piece, but I have no place to wear it." And my answer to that is, it's a covering. You get to choose any covering you want. And it doesn't matter where you are. Wear it to the grocery store. Wear it any place you want,
Right.
because you have to choose a covering. Society says we have to. So make it fun for you. That's it.
Yeah.
Y- You know?
But then there's also like people like me that don't enjoy shopping because our
Yeah.
bodies are weird. And
Hmm.
like I felt it made me feel so comfortable to go in there, because usually you're like, ooh, I need the extra large. I need the extra large size.
Hmm.
And then you have to go to the back or whatever, and you're just like, I think there's also like, I have worn the same clothes for 25, 30 years. And
Right.
like I think I told you, like, I'm getting a
Hmm.
new start. Like, I don't even know
Hmm.
where to start. Like, if I were to dress differently, I can't even picture that. And that's
Right.
where you came in so nicely.
Hmm.
What about this?
Well, and it's true because, again, if you don't, I mean, there is a science behind dressing for your body types and balancing. It's like any sort of design, like landscape design, interior design. Nobody feels bad asking for help there. And it's the same type of thing when you're dressing your body. It's, how do I repeat not only the colors that I see when I look at you, but also the shapes,
Mm.
and how do I balance so that it creates harmony um, in your dressing. And no, unless you study that, people don't necessarily know. They don't necessarily know that, oh, your hemline for your shape or type or whatnot should fall here, not 3 inches below that.
Right.
And it's like, oh, that little thing made such a difference.
It's so
Why
true.
not share it?
It's so true. I mean, that was what for me was so beautiful about your store. I mean, not even just like all the cool stuff, but just the fact that you're involved. You were often, you're just like, what do you think of this? Like, what about this color? Do you like this color? And then,
Mhm.
when I was watching you interact with the lady with the rain jacket,
Oh
it was
yeah,
like, that fits you perfect. You need a belt because it's too boxy. Like, it will fit you.
right,
Stuff
right.
like that. You don't get that at other stores. And it just made me feel like this lady really cares. It's not just about clothes. And then I want to get to also, this is not
Mhm.
what you've been doing forever.
Mm-mm.
This is a newer venture for you.
Well, for the last 10 years or so, yes.
Right.
So uh so I have 3 daughters, and who are now, gosh, 23, 21, and 18. And honestly, I so my career when they were very, very young and pre-children, I was in strategic marketing for um, group insurance products for large insurance companies like Unum and GE Financial and the Hartford. So very different brain, right? Very different focus. And then once I had my babies and I was fortunate enough to be home with them for 10 years, and then I thought, well, I'm gonna get back out there. I've got a few good earning years left in me, but I couldn't see myself tied to a desk given what our family was.
Right.
And you need some flexibility. And I won't say that owning a business is fewer hours, but you do have a little bit more flexibility in when you do your work and whether you can take your kid to work with you, and your 10-year-old can, work the register or whatnot.
Yeah.
So I was actually, my mom had passed away, and I was checking the business listing. My dad was selling the business that they had had together, and I was checking that to make sure it was all in order. And I noticed an ad for sale. There was a consignment shop locally for sale. And I was like, huh, I like consignment. I should look into that. Um, and long story short, I had never owned a business. It was low risk, really, because you don't have to purchase inventory. The nature of this business is you don't pay the consigners unless something sells. So as businesses go, we felt it was relatively low risk. And I was like, you know what? I'll just keep asking questions till it makes sense to me and do what I want to see in a shop. And so that's kind of how it all started.
Oh my gosh. So how does it work? I was thinking about this as I was leaving. How does it work with consignment with so many items? Like, does every tag like connect to the
Yes.
person that, oh,
Yes. Consignment, it's funny because people think, oh, it's a retail store, and they liken it to any other retail store, like, J. Crew in the mall or whatever shop that you're thinking of. But we don't get, a regular retail shop gets their inventory, and they have one item in a variety of sizes, and
right.
they tell you what to price it. And you know what I mean? It's all done for you. This is a very labor intensive industry, because you touch every single item and track every single item individually.
Hmm.
And thank goodness for technology. Shout out to the women who used to do this all on ledgers. I don't know how, but that would not be me. I would not be in this if I had to do that. But we have great software specific for this industry. And so let's say you brought in items to sell, so we have an account for you with all your information. We enter each item with a description, the size, what we price it at. We determine what the split is, so what proportion you, the consigner, will get when it sells. And then our consigners always have the option of having their unsold items returned to them if they so choose. Some people do. Some people want their things back that didn't sell. Some people just say, nope, don't care, just donate them. Don't want to know. They're out of the house.
Right.
We have some accounts in the past that are church groups where they're like, they get donations of clothing to have at their kind of, um I don't know what they call them, their sales or their yard sales to raise money for their churches or other organizations, where they'll say, this is worth more than we want to put it for $5. So they'll bring it here, and then that money builds up, and they can, so that's another way to use consignment. If you have a charity that you're passionate about. We've done private shopping parties, in fact, as fundraisers, which is basically what we do is after hours. So the store's all your own. It's usually 10 or more people. And we do a situation where we match. So everything that is purchased, we will match a portion of that, and that goes to the fundraiser. Um, it's just a really kind of fun new way. People get excited. Oh yeah, I'm gonna go get a new outfit and
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 benefit.
be able to donate to charity. So it's kind
Awesome.
of fun. Yeah.
Gosh, you're doing so much. I just can't, I feel so dumb that I didn't know about consignment shops. Like I knew that they existed. I just didn't
Mhm.
know really what they were about. Because
No, and it's funny because I feel like the evolution has is such that they're becoming more and more trendy. It's becoming more and more trendy to thrift and find that little nugget and have paid less and all of that sort of thing. But there was definitely a time, even, short while ago, where it was like you're shopping like this.
right,
Like you don't want anybody to know that this was used.
totally.
Um So I'm glad that's going away more and more. And it's almost becoming like, look how great this is. And I only spent $10, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, that's a great, it's a great place to be.
yeah, it's fun. It's
But
a lot
there's
of fun.
so many clothes.
Well, and honestly too, and I think, my whole passion for supporting other women in business, um, is really come from having three daughters. I was I was an only child, but growing up, and it's not absolute, and I don't generalize like this, but sometimes it's hard to be a woman, and women can sometimes be unfriendly and not be nice to one another. And I always sort of very much reeled against that, because why shouldn't we? We should absolutely. We know better than anyone else, Let's not put on a happy face and pretend like we're not experiencing the things that we know we all experience.
Right.
If I invite you to my house, Amy, and you're like, "Oh, it's so lovely. Oh, it's always so nice and clean when I come here." Yeah, because I knew you were coming. You know, pop over unannounced on a random Wednesday and you'll see does not look like this. So, you know, just
Um,
those silly little things about just being able to support each other as women.
right. And on that note, I wanted to also mention the fact that in your store you also support other women makers, basically.
Yes.
I know you were showing
Yes.
the like purses that were made from old cowboy boots. And you
Yes.
were just telling me about a new lady whose name is
Yes. I well, I think you might be thinking of Amy, who I just had in here, the skull coaster
Yes.
gal. And so, yes, absolutely supporting her. It's funny, this woman is from Leeds, the one that you were referring to. So she upcycles old cowboy boots into handbags. And she was sort of kind of sheepish about it, like, I don't know, I'm just starting out. I think this is fun for me. Do you think there's a market? I'm like, absolutely. And so let's get you in here and, shout about it, because how cool is that? Any sort of upcycling. And there's so many ways. You don't have to just shop consignment. There's rent the runway. People will upcycle old wool sweaters and make them into mittens. Or I've also seen right now, real popular on social media is artful mending. I
Oh,
think, I
right.
don't know,
Yeah.
did you and I talk about that? Where if you've got a hole in your jeans, stitch it up, do some cross stitch design, make it into a flower garden, and it's a piece of art. It's no longer needs to be discarded because it's wonderful. And there's more and more and more options, even places to donate. Sure, there's Goodwill, there's Salvation Army, there's absolutely those places, but I think you'll see more and more around is boxes or bins for Apparel Impact. And they're wonderful. They go through all of the items. They will distribute locally what still has a lot of good use left. And they will actually recycle the textiles for those things that just this is done versus going into a landfill.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, there's a lot of options out
Right.
there.
Yeah. We
Um,
used to have in Brunswick it was called the Gathering Place. And I know the Gathering Place is still there, but you could like drop off clothes and then they would be distributed to the people that are needing um like clothes for job interviews and stuff like
yep,
that.
yeah.
Like absolutely. Like,
A
I don't
lot of high
need to
schools,
for someone to make $5 off of my, my old jeans or whatever.
right?
Someone else
Yeah.
can like
100%. Or, if you're a young person, start a closet at your school where people can go and, anonymously go and browse and shop. And because gosh, high school, right? Middle school,
Right?
whole other beast, whole other, that's a jungle I would not want to have to live
Sure.
in. And so, it's an opportunity for maybe somebody who can't afford or have access to what the in things are, that maybe they can feel a little bit more comfortable
Right.
in that environment. So, start an open closet at your school or at your college for those people who are interviewing for an internship or for a job after school
Good
and
idea.
can't afford to go out and get, a really nice suit jacket or dress. I know when my daughter graduated from college, she had sweatpants and she had little hoochie going out to the club outfits. Nothing appropriate for work after college. Nothing.
For that.
Thank goodness. Thank goodness for the store because we got her. But if I had to go out and pay, or if she had to go out and pay retail to get, to get her started in the workforce, forget about it. It would have been hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
So
But so yeah, I mean, so at your store you have like name brand. You've got like a fancy rack with all the really popular name brands.
I would say we have a rack of luxury designers, which is like Ely Tahari, Louis Vuitton, Gucci, like really high-end designers. And then, but the majority of our store, I always call them kind of the better brands. We don't do like the big box stores because that's so inexpensive. It's silly to bring it in here and we spend all the time that it's just not economically even feasible really for us to do all the work we need to do to put $5 on it
Yeah, for
or
sure.
whatnot. But a cool thing about shopping consignment or resale is you don't have to bebop around to every single store because we have so many brands. We have all the different brands in one place. And then the other thing that people really enjoy is we have a lot of catalog brands that come in because they're able to then try it on before purchasing it, where you don't have to deal with a buy and return and buy a return for things like Garnet Hill or Bowden,
Plus
Soft Surroundings.
helmets, I think.
Those are all like catalog brands where we don't have a retail store locally to
Oh,
be
that's
able to,
smart.
yeah.
I
So
love that.
so that's kind of a neat, thing too that people enjoy when shopping.
Okay. And there are also shoes and accessories.
Yes. And I said before, we don't, we're more current wear. We don't on the regular take in vintage clothing. We will make an exception here or there, but what I love are vintage accessories. We will always look at vintage jewelry, vintage handbags, little clutches, because those things are timeless and you can work them into your modern look for today. And it's just a really cool conversation piece because it's so unique and you're not seeing it a lot out there because it was from 1970
Right.
or and honestly those things come back around, you know what I mean? So like everything from the 90s super popular right now.
Right.
So it's just, I've always said this isn't rocket science. It's, we play with clothes all day, very fortunate, and the unexpected part of owning the shop where I just didn't give it any thought was the wonderful relationships that I have enjoyed and formed over the years.
Right.
And getting to know women like what you're doing and getting to be a part and see a piece of so many different women's lives, whether or not it's on receiving or giving and helping them promote themselves, that I would never have access to at Unum sitting behind a desk for
Right.
sure.
Oh my gosh, yeah. All the different people that come into the store and just the networking that you get to do. Like I know you were saying that you don't carry vintage items, but then that other
We'll send you where somebody does. Yes,
so if someone says
100%.
I have some vintage clothing, do you say you might want to check out
Yes.
Sammy?
I say, yep, you might want to go here. There's Lil Ghost in Portland. I mean, Maine has a ton, whether or not you're shopping for your infant, go to some place like Sweet Repeats in Freeport, or Lots for Tots in Falmouth. Or there's some that just cater to teens, like Plato's Closet. And then, there are others that specialize in just vintage. So it's you can find whatever it is that you're looking for. And we don't have it. I'm happy to try to tell you where to go next,
Right.
so that you can be successful in what you're looking for.
Wow. I just
Yeah.
love, I love the, I mean, I said it before, but I just love the feeling walking in there. I mean, so it's not like, have you ever been to a store when you walk in and it's like people pretend they don't see you, or they didn't hear the bell ringing or whatever, and they're like,
Mhm.
just, you know, just avoid the
It's funny because just today we had a woman who is really lovely and effusive, because people can be quick to say what's wrong with a situation, but not everybody shares when something goes well, and for whatever reasons. But she really made a point to tell us how nice it was to be greeted when she came in, to be acknowledged, and know that we were here to help if she needed, but didn't hover. We're also not about that. Like when I shop, I'll let you know if I need help. This is kind of my alone time. I'm just going to be in my zone and do my thing. So it's a little bit of everything, that we see. But yeah, why wouldn't we be friendly and open and helpful? I don't know. Those people, those,
build it business.
yeah,
Why would you, I,
those,
that blows my mind. I mean, whenever you go to a store, you're like, no, you're in the customer service business.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I just got such a good feeling being in there, and really just the fact that you were wandering around and you're like, did you see this top? Because I think this would look really good on you. Like you're looking for a new look, and this is, it's
Right.
black, so it's like you like, but then it's the sleeves are very fancy, like you want to
Mhm.
just shake it up a little bit.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
because like I said, I don't know what I want, but
And I hope you don't feel like we never want to push anybody. You know what I mean? We're not about that at all. And we're also not about, I make it very clear. First of all, anytime I've ever hired somebody, the first question I said, we're a shop of women who love women. If that's not you, this isn't a place for you to be. But the other thing that I was just going to say that I just lost, no false compliments. You just don't believe in it. You don't have to tear somebody down if they come out and it's not super flattering for them, but you can say, what? I think we can do better. Maybe let's take a look, because I want them to be happy once they leave the store. And, there's a pack mentality, I think we have all experienced when you go shopping with your girlfriends, that, oh no, you have to get that. You have to get that. You have to get that. And everybody's just excited and they don't,
I'm wearing it, except my
yeah.
preference.
Right. And then you get it home and you're like, oh, this really isn't me. And you got caught up in the excitement of it. But I want you to feel good and love. I always tell my women, if they're contemplating, they're not sure, if you don't love it, don't buy it. If you're not excited to wear this tomorrow or at your next whatever it is that this is for, you probably don't need it. So
Got
if
it.
they want, if you want straight opinions, I got plenty of them. I'm not always right, but I have plenty.
But you're mostly right.
Well, sometimes I'm right. It depends on who you ask. Don't check in with my family.
Yeah, family's different.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So there was something that I wanted to touch on, and I think that we already have, but I think that consignment is such a, I think it's such a beautiful thing. It's a circular thing, and
Hmm.
I love the idea of, I mean, I think maybe I'm thinking of Dita when I was talking to her, like these things that were once loved and then maybe don't fit are getting a second life, which I think is
Yeah,
beautiful.
I agree.
And just and I'm so glad, Shelley, that you purchased this consignment store because you light up. You really do. And I know that you know that. You must know that. But this is
I,
it's like
I
not work for you.
it isn't. Trust me, the doors would have been closed long ago.
But
It's
you
just,
you just get so you light up to see someone smile, to see
I,
someone feel good.
I
And
do.
I just think that's unbelievable. I think it's unbelievable. Like it's just a, this is it's a different type of customer service than I've experienced before. Like
Mhm,
I've experienced the like I was saying, the people that pretend that they didn't see you or hear you walking by. And
mhm,
also the false um compliments. Like
mhm.
I've been in hotels and, make sure to treat these people extra special. I'm like, everyone gets the same treatment, which is
Right, right.
really, really good. We're all human.
Yes,
We all deserve.
absolutely. And it doesn't matter age, size, it doesn't matter. We're all the same.
But like
We're
this,
all the same.
especially like, especially when people, I think this is a perfect time to be talking about this and to have this fashion show that,
Hmm.
because people are wearing the sweats and the jeans and the
Hmm.
athleisure wear, um,
Right.
the chance to see that there's something else out there and we don't,
Yeah.
we can work in that all day or we can get dressed up or whatever, and
Yeah.
then you have something fun to wear outside of the house if you leave the
Hmm.
house.
Well, and that's why I always like to put it in different terms because it jars them out of sort of their, fixed mindset. So when we call it a covering
Right.
instead of your clothes, it's a covering.
Right.
You can choose whatever covering you want.
Mm.
It's doing a job. And it doesn't have to only do a job, it could also make you smile and
And
make you feel
really
good.
about yourself.
Yeah. And, some people enjoy it, some people couldn't care less, and that's fine too. You know what I mean? That's fine. I'm not here to, push any one particular type of style. It's really not about the clothes. Um, Clothes is just sort of the vessel, I guess. Yeah.
Totally. But yeah, I feel like you are, I mean, I'm not a job coach or anything, but I feel like you are in the perfect spot right now. And I think Freeport, oh my gosh, what a great spot for that.
Yes.
Especially
Yeah.
outside of all the name brand shops and everything else. Like, oh, or
Right.
you can go down the road just a little bit and check out this consignment that has already loved clothes.
Yeah. And it's funny, different, people have different motivations for shopping in a shop like this, which I've always found kind of interesting. Some people want a really good value. Some people, um, you know, when you shop retail, you're really a slave to whatever the in thing is, whatever the in color, the in style. And you see a lot of repetition, right? So whatever, and if that doesn't work for your body type, then there's not a lot to choose from. And so they like being able to find things that maybe aren't manufactured anymore or, a certain style or look. And then there's also people who are like, oh, I cannot deal with the mall. I do not want to go to 10 stores to, find all of these different brands. I just need, it's so nice because I can come to one store and it's all here.
Right,
It's all the variety.
right.
So people have different motivations for shopping here, but there's a lot of value in it for sure. If I didn't believe in that, and why pay the full price? Just you don't need to. Whether or not you're looking for a new pair of boots or a fun piece of jewelry or
Funky
honestly
handbag.
a funky handbag or even mother of the bride dress. I can't tell you even that. And people who come in, a lot of people don't realize there's another great resource for any future brides out there called Hem and Veil, right in downtown Portland. And that's all they do is wedding dresses and bridesmaids, mother of the bride, all of that sort of thing. So that's a great,
Oh, oh,
yeah, yeah, because I mean, really, those
I mean,
things
weddings are such a racket.
you wear it once,
You wear it
one
once and you
time.
spend hundreds or thousands of dollars. Yes,
Yeah.
for
So
one night.
that's to me, that's like poised perfectly to. I'm surprised. And when I first purchased the store, I had a little area for it and it never really took off. I had it for about a year. But the other area that I see a need for that it's perfectly suited for is maternity,
Mm.
because that is such a brief time that you wear your maternity clothes, and that can be very expensive.
And because every other week you're growing a size.
Yeah, pretty much.
Wow.
So,
Yeah, that's super smart, actually.
so someone needs to open a maternity consignment shop
All right. All right,
out
y'all.
there. There you go.
Very cool. So, Shelly, I want to definitely talk about the fashion show again. Like I want you to
Okay,
mention. So this is Freeport Climate Action
now.
Now. Okay.
So
Or
F
FCAN.
can, F can, exactly. Kick the can. Think of it. And their website, which you can purchase tickets online, is freeportcan.org.
Okay. My pen wasn't working. Freeport
Yep,
can.
freeportcan.org. And on their events page, you can purchase, and I mean, like I said, a $15 ticket gets you free beer, wine, drinks, snacks, and a fabulous fashion show.
Fabulous evening.
Yes.
Wonderful people. Clothing. Fun clothes.
Mm-hmm.
Food.
A little something for everybody.
Pizza?
What's that?
Pizza or it's baked goods and beer?
It's baked goods and beer. Yeah.
Whatever,
We're
man.
sticking it, we're making it simple.
Okay. But thanks to Maine Beer Company, thanks to ReStyle, and what? Tell me the other, Tammy.
Cargos.
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 I
Yes.
can't remember that, but
This would not happen without cargos for sure.
for sure. But what what does the word sustainability mean to you personally?
For me, sustainability, in order to be sustainable, you need to have strength. You need to feel supported. And that's what we try to do here for our women, I feel. And I think just as humans, we should do that for one another. And that's what keeps us going.
Right. Okay. So that's like a personal sustainability, which I love. That's so cool. And then what you're doing also is the physical sustainability with the reused. Oh man, so good, Shelly. So definitely, I'm going to say it again. So freeportcan.org to buy tickets for the fashion show, the
Yes.
Fashion Show, which is Friday, the 31st of
Mm-hmm.
May. And you said it's
Mm-hmm.
at 6:30?
The doors open at 6:30. You can buy tickets at the door, but they'll be $20 then instead of 15 in advance. It's going to be at the Meeting House Arts, which is right downtown Main Street in Freeport. Lovely venue. And yeah, the doors open at 6:30. The show starts at 7.
Okay. And how can people find or follow you and see what you and your store are up to?
Absolutely. So our website is restyleconsign.com. People can purchase items right online via our website. They can contact us um, and learn about what our consignment policy is, how to do it. Um, and then, of course, we are on Facebook and Instagram. Again, Restyle Consign 207.
Restock
Believe
and
it or
sign.
not. Yes. So Restyle Consign again, but with 207 at the end
Okay.
for the social media.
Okay.
Mhm.
And I will put all that information in the show notes, you guys. But if you are local, I highly, highly recommend this Fashion Show. I'm not going to be there, unfortunately, but I will be there in spirit. And I will be coming in to pick up a dress or two because it's going to be hot where I'm going.
It's going to be really hot. Yeah. That would be awesome. Amy, I'm so grateful. Thank you.
Yeah.
Really, thank you. This has been
Oh, thank
super fun.
you. This is amazing. I love I have a newfound love for consignment and I'm
Good. I'm
excited
glad.
to support
Awesome.
more.
All right. Thank you again.
Yeah.